Hoy es un bello día y estamos hablando de béisbol. Bienvenidos amigos. I'm Hugo. This is Signs of the Pastime. Today I will be talking baseball, but I'm going to start at this landmark here in Tampa, Florida, La Segunda Bakery. It's an institution here in Ybor City that's been around for over 100 years. This bakery was started by Juan More and his family. Like I said, over 100 years ago. It's been in this building, La Segunda. They had La Primera, La Segunda, y La Tercera bakery, and the other two closed, so this one remains. So I'm gonna start here, grab a bite to eat, and we're gonna talk a little baseball here in Ybor City today. So come along, let's have a good time. La Segunda Bakery started in 1915 by Juan More. Originally from Spain, he discovered his love for Cuban bread while fighting in the Spanish-American War in Cuba. There he discovered a traditional recipe for Cuban bread. With that recipe in hand, he set forth to create the bakery of his dreams in the thriving Cuban district of Ybor City. It's like a baseball bat, but it's a Cuban bread. Now that I have my baseball bat, Cuban bread and other goodies, I'm headed to the perfect spot to enjoy my lunch, and it's right in the heart of Ybor City. And here's the spot. Parque Amigos de Jose Marti. Yeah. And I chose this location because I want to honor our good friend here in the community, Orlando, from a collector's dream. Orlando, we've all been praying for you and cheering you on, and we're so thankful to hear that you're recovering well. We miss you, and we can't wait to see you again real soon, my friend. Take your time healing, hermano. We're with you all the way. Now, this spot is special, just like you, Orlando, because it honors Jose Marti. And you have a Jose Marti card that you have shown, and I thought it would be nice for you to take over and go ahead and talk a little bit about that card.
Around the 1915 era, and that's when these cards were produced. So they say they were produced probably from 1914 through 1916, and they were definitely printed in Cuba. These were actually photographs, so it's an actual photo of Jose Marti, and he was one of the kind of founders of Cuba, once they were taken over by Spain, and then Marti came in and kind of was the one that became really the George Washington. I'll call him the George Washington of Cuba. But he had that big mustache, and that was well known for that. And he was the president of Cuba for many years, and one of the top figures in Cuban history.
So that's a little bit about Jose Marti, told to us from Orlando himself. Now, Orlando lived in Tampa for many years, but I don't know if you ever visited this park. Orlando is actually the first person from YouTube that I met in person at a show in St. Pete a couple of years ago. And Orlando is one of the first people, one of the first channels that shouted me out after I made my Al Lopez video right here in Tampa. So I'm right here behind Jose Marti's statue. I got some amigos with me. I'm about to have some lunch with my wife. We got a Cuban sandwich from La Segunda. And I did bring cards to honor mi amigo Orlando. I got this Camilo Pascual. Now this is not his rookie card. This is if he had a card in 54, probably what it looked like. It's autographed by him. His rookie was in 55, and that's his rookie there, autographed as well. I brought a Mike Cuellar, who is also Cuban. And Orlando's an Orioles fan because he grew up in Miami, and he got to see the Orioles team that had Mike Cuellar up close and personal at Miami Stadium. So I thought I'd bring that one. And being that I'm in Ybor City, this is where Al Lopez grew up. I showed this card before in my Al Lopez video that Orlando shouted out. And since then, I've picked up this one. It's a reprint of his Diamond Stars card, but it's also autographed. And I have this 1960 McGregor of Al Lopez. Here he is, the field master. And I got this from my friend Dom Mana. And just a beautiful image of Al Lopez, the native son of Ybor City here in Tampa. And a great place to have lunch with your wife from a great place. Having La Segunda with my Primera. This little guy's got his eye on my lunch. Nothing like having lunch with my friends. Alright, now it's time for dessert. You guys all wondering what it is? It's a guava and cheese flip. I really shouldn't, but win in Ybor. It's for you, Orlando. Un verdadero amigo. This quote from Jose Marti translates to basically, in the world, if life is lived with dignity, there is still poetry for many. Everything is the moral courage with which one faces and tames the apparent injustice of life, while finding good to do, a right to defend, a healthy and strong book to read, a corner of the mountain, a good woman, a true friend, will have strength, a sensitive heart to love, and praise the beautiful and orderly aspects of life. Sky puppy. There he is. Two of them. Oh my goodness, sky puppies. And this bakery here is where Al Lopez worked as a bread delivery guy. If you remember from my first video, this is where I said, Pan caliente! Pan caliente! That pan caliente came from here. Casa Oliva, home of Swan Cigars. And right across the street is the Tampa Baseball Museum at the Al Lopez house. This is his childhood home. And if you go back and watch the first video I made of Al Lopez, showed some footage inside. Today it's closed, unfortunately. It's only open Thursday through Sunday. But that is where Al Lopez grew up. This is my last stop, and I'm here to show a gift that I received from a friend in the community, and it has to do with what used to be at this site before the stadium was here. All right, I made it here outside of Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, where it used to be the site of Al Lopez Field, and I'm here to reveal a nice gift that I got from Ed, an angry old man. Sent me something really cool, and I thought this was the proper place to reveal it. All right, here it is. Now this, Al Lopez Field was built in 1955 while Al Lopez was managing the Cleveland Indians. And he's pretty much the only manager I can think of where he managed at a field that was named after him. And then in 1989, they demolished the field while he was still alive. So he got to see a stadium being built in his honor and demolished all while he was alive. But anyway, it served as a spring training site for the Cincinnati Reds for many years. And Ed sent me this program of the Cincinnati Reds that has been signed by Al Lopez. Spring training of 1987. Which this was sold right here at this site back then, while it was still a beautiful spring training stadium. And like I said, it was demolished. Al Lopez was okay with it because the idea was there was going to be baseball, Major League Baseball brought to Tampa, and they were going to build a Major League Stadium right here on this property. But it never happened. St. Pete built Tropicana Field, and they enticed Major League Baseball to go to St. Pete, and they never put a Major League Stadium here. Instead, they built Raymond James Stadium in 1996, and around the same time, Legends Field, or George Steinbrenner Field, which is the minor league stadium where the Rays are playing now, the Major League games, is right across the street from here. And that's the only baseball that remained here in this area. So Al Lopez wasn't too thrilled that the stadium that was named in his honor was demolished with the hopes of building a Major League Park here. And it just never happened. But this was a great gift from Ed, angry old man. If you guys are not familiar with Ed's channel, go ahead and subscribe to him as well. So that does it, guys. This is a follow-up to my Al Lopez video that I made when I first started YouTube. I just thought this was a good way to honor a couple of friends here in the community and just show the new Al Lopez items that are in my collection. So from Tampa, Florida, Ybor City, Raymond James Stadium, and the former Al Lopez Field site, this is Hugo with Signs of the Past Time saying thanks for watching. And until next time, take care. Though Al Lopez Field is long gone, the park that sits across the street is now named Al Lopez Park. It's a reminder that there are some really special people in the world that deserve to be honored.